All right, welcome back to Gathol. We got two players tonight. Had a couple of last-minute cancels, but these two guys are great. So we're just gonna play, have fun here in quarantine land. Um, a couple of things we wanted to do some cleanup. Like we kind of cut out a little bit early last game because we were running late and then we had a shorter session. But we want to sort out some magic items and just some logistic stuff first. First thing is we didn't address the crystallized magic that was found last session at the end. So the party off camera chose to put it towards the defenses of Gathol. So I've applied that over here, and that's where it's going to go there. We're going to go back a little bit here to the looted items from the Kobold raid and make sure we have that sorted out because I don't know if we notated all that stuff. I think everyone got everything except for the sword. Is that right? I think we handed out most of the stuff.
I think the sword was the only one that kind of got hanging because none of us wanted it.
Okay.
And you didn't want to add it to the stash because of the concurrent timeline and have somebody grab it prematurely.
Right. Okay. So could I have one of you add the sword to the time
I got it.
to the thing? It is a +1 long sword.
I thought it was a great sword.
No, it wasn't a
Because
great
the
sword.
other party found the great sword.
The other party found a great sword. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm confused.
Yeah, so it's a +1 long sword that when you use it, you use the damage dice for versatile when you're using it in one hand. Yeah, so you use a D10 instead of a D8 when using it in one hand.
D10 when using it one-handed.
Yeah.
D10 two-handed as well?
Yeah. It basically it's just lighter.
That I can use.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So the great sword that the other team found that Starfire is identifying is just a +1 great sword.
Add that.
And they also found a cloak of many fashions, which is this, which you identify.
Color. Yeah, I got all this added.
Perfect. So that's all sorted. That was all the things that people found. And I think as long as all those things are in the stash, then we're good.
Okay, yeah, there's some stuff in here I don't really know how to read, but I think we can deal with that later.
Oh, in the
yeah, it's
stash.
45G from Duroc 15 and Orethi 30.
Yeah, so basically they decided to put money into there in case one of the teams needed money for some reason. So there's just like a pile of gold in there that people can.
Yeah, the 15 and it's 15 from Duroc, 30 from Orethi.
Yeah. And actually you can remove the potion of fire giant strength because Duroc took that out. You can just erase it. All right, cool. So we'll just move right into the game. So you all, you both are in the Great Hall. You didn't meet this person, Starfire, but there is a new person in the Great Hall. Their name is Galona. They are a always late half elf that is basically now a note taker. Like, basically, they're just a voice in case you're like, wait, what happened this time? And they're like, they just take notes on the adventurers so that you can ask what the other party did and they can ask what you did. Yeah, a bookkeeper. Yeah, since Keen died, there's no voice. I originally thought it'd be funny if they were like sarcastic, but then it just makes the DM sound sarcastic. So they're just gonna be very like even toned. They're just like that's just gonna be their thing. You are both there. No one else showed up. You get to decide what to do.
When is this in relation to the events of the Kobold attack?
It is one moment. It's like 3 or 4 days. You've actually, people have been playing this game for an in-game month. We crossed that threshold.
Busy month.
Yeah, we crossed that threshold last game, but so it's like a day after that.
Yeah, so I think since then, Starfire has been sort of holed up in her room. She's feeling very unsure of herself since the kobold attack. She's sort of self-blaming because of maybe our actions provoked the kobolds, and then also her actions with setting some fires and burning down people's shops and livelihood. She's got her tail between the legs. So like she's not been to the carnival, she's not been performing. I think this is the first time she's come out of her hole since all of this has happened. Yeah, so she's in the, I guess, the Great Hall, but she's just sitting down with her head in her arms, not really prepared for any of this.
So Coil's already been on an excursion since, and returned.
Yeah, Coil's just a workhorse.
He's taken a more sort of somber tone recently. The losses from the kobold attack weigh heavy on him, and he's really put up a he's really making like a second effort or stronger effort to protect Gathol, and he's much more concerned about the safety of Gathol and its citizens.
Give us an example of like maybe like an action Coil has taken, like a small one or something that shows this. You know what I mean? Like between sessions, like we get like a flashback to him doing something.
So I think he's been training with
Duroc,
some of the citizens. I think he's probably also like been checking on the orcs that are outside of the city. He doesn't fully trust them, and Coil definitely doesn't trust Banad, the demon. So I think those are some examples, but yeah, he's taken on a more kind of militaristic bent probably as well.
Okay, and I think you all are sort of taking in a long silence. Like it's sort of one of those moments where it's like that like it's time, like you have to go out, but one of you is sort of like you're both sort of waiting for the other to break the silence and be like, okay, let's get up and do this. And then you hear sort of this like slight sort of like a paper burning almost a little bit, and maybe like Starfire, you pick your head up off the desk, and just sitting on top of this big long table is that like it's still kind of the Treaty of Aina, and you see the edges of it start to just slightly blacken, like you can kind of see like a small little effect there, as though it's sort of like, but it doesn't go very far, but you can tell it's sort of like pushing,
So yeah, Starfire lifts her head up and looks at it and goes, "Nobody signed this? What are we doing?"
In communicating with the others, I believe they had questions as to the terms of the treaty, which are not necessarily outlined in this document. They had the desire to speak with Banad, the demon, who is apparently a kind of law advocate of some kind. However, I dissuaded them from doing so, since I feared that he was A, a demon, B, a lawyer, C, had connections to the cult to begin with, and therefore there may have been a conflict of interest.
I mean, so I mean, we should probably do something here at least, though.
I'll
I don't.
go ahead.
I don't think we should not reply. I think that will definitely be taken as an insult by these people, and I don't know much about their situation, but I'm going to guess they have plenty of resources available to them that that probably trump ours. So, I don't know if we need to be friends, but I don't think we should be enemies.
I think a few things. I think, first of all, this document is a magical document, and perhaps you could learn more information about it than anyone else in Gathol has been able to learn.
You've done some detection of magic already on it. There's a conjuration component. I'm just putting this out here. I think they want us to sign the name of a weapon, correct? And for all I know, this is going to conjure a weapon. That's a weird thing to sign a document with.
Wait,
a weapon is a sign of a peace treaty, though.
Out of character, why is it a weapon?
That's just what it says. It just says sign it with the name of a weapon.
It said verbatim, I think, sign with a weapon.
Sign with the name of a weapon.
The name of a maybe the weapons key into whatever thing gets conjured, whether it's the weapon itself or something else. I don't know if there's much more we can really deduce from that. If it's not terms we're willing to agree to, though, I mean, then either we need to modify this agreement somehow, or communicate our willingness to renegotiate these terms. I don't think just letting it expire will serve us.
I agree that it might require a certain kind of renegotiation. I question our lack of a mediator in any kind of negotiation. But I also wonder if this treaty does not involve, perhaps indirectly, Sparrow Crest. Should they also be consulted or known or made known the details of the treaty?
I think that would be fair, or at least to ask, considering Sparrow's Crest is the location of border demarcation.
Is there anything in the treaty that is not outlined in its language? In other words, does it list the repercussions for a violation of the treaty?
Go ahead and make a history check, Starfire.
I don't know if we have the verbatim of what this is saved somewhere. I'm remembering from like a month ago.
Yeah, it's okay.
So...
just make a history check and I'll let you know.
Yeah. On it. Bomb.
Okay. So it is a little bit vague in lawyery terms, but it just says like they can't cross the border. It literally says they can't.
They can't.
Or like it says it's like we will not enter anything north of Gathol of Sparrow's Crest, and then you will not come into the desert. Like it says will not. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. And sounds it doesn't seem to say what the repercussions are, but as long as you stick to the agreement, I guess you don't have to know what the repercussions are.
Is it magically binding in itself?
Yeah, you like signing the contract is binding in some way. That's you both would know that.
So,
like between Starfire and Magic and you, like understanding like how like the hellish bureaucracy works, like you know that there's a like a signature and a binding.
So would it just prevent, like, let's say we sign this document, and then the party goes out and tries to enter the desert, would it just be like a wall of force and we can't get past it?
I think that would be a reasonable understanding of it. Yeah, like that is one of the solutions that like that would be one of the answers.
Okay.
Which would mean it would also be that way for the ghouls. Like the ghouls, like
Right.
have a
Right. And there's no duration on the treaty. It's just
No.
It seems indefinite.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say something. I want to take the treaty. It's paper, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can find a quill and parchment and just notate a little mark on the edge of it. And see if like ink or whatever will take.
It's a magic item in the way that it can't be damaged. You think that it's sort of like a magic sword can't be like nicked or cut like this.
Right. Yeah. So what I was trying to check out is like, okay, I'm going to cross out this word, circle this one, question mark here.
Right.
Send it back for revisions.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, no, it doesn't take that. And yeah, I think if we want to get more info and we don't trust the demon, maybe there's more information in Sparrow's Crest. We could go to the mouth itself. I mean, we haven't signed the agreement. I think if we encounter trouble, maybe we can use this as a means to go into the desert ourselves.
Maybe like this is more. I feel like I've gotten more information from Jason based on like what, like some of the questions I've had. I'd be okay, I think, with signing it.
Okay. I'll sign it. I wanted to sign this thing weeks ago. I thought someone else was going to do this, but so what weapon? What weapon do we want? It should be not a big one.
Well, why not? What weapon do you use?
Staff.
I mean, you could also use your like focus or whatever, like if I don't know what kind of.
I got a magic hat for that now.
You have a magic hat for focus, yeah. But you could use it, yeah. But like you understand that a weapon in your terms is also a focus, so you could, if you want to do staff or a focus, like that's totally fine.
That's fine.
Because I already have a magic sword, so.
Yeah, I'll take the crazy ghoul queen weapon. Sure, I'll hold it.
Okay.
Well, we don't know what it'll happen, but it might produce a weapon.
Yeah, sure.
Like the kind of bound agreement or something.
Yeah. All right. I'll write wand.
Wand. Okay. So you write wand. The thing sort of settles. And then the signature turns red, and then the paper sort of spins around and then becomes a wand. And then like you feel like sort of this sort of pulse of energy kind of go out, as though like things have changed.
Boy. Oh, things have changed, I guess. So our new wand, and let's just hope that Sparrow's Crest stays where it is. So do we.
All right, and when you pick it up, the magic item is called the Treaty of Aina. It's a wand now, and it is basically what's called a challenger wand, which means that if you damage someone with it, and they have not been damaged yet, you get an extra D6 just on top of that.
So Aina.
It's INA. Aina.
D6 damage, right?
D6 damage. Yep.
Because it's a wand, that means any of my damage spells would get that. So if like Flame Sphere, someone for the first time, they'd roll the 2d6 plus an additional d6.
Yep.
Okay.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. Illusion Mage is starting to deal some real damage.
Yep. Yeah. What about? So what you need to do is now your illusions will have some bite to them.
Yeah. No, because they wouldn't do the actual damage anyway. Or I guess my later illusions would, because they start doing like D6,
Yeah.
like Phantom.
Phantom
Oh,
Killer
really?
Phantom Killer does a lot of damage.
Yeah, there's another one that's like D6 or something, but it's Phantasmal Force.
Yeah.
If the illusion do like D6 possibly, but okay, cool. Oh, now I got a new wand and a cool hat. Had the hat for a while, but good. I'm glad somebody signed this.
All right, cool.
I am now a little bit concerned for the citizens of Sparrow Crest. What if they start kidnapping the citizens again?
Part of the agreement is they won't go into Sparrow's Crest. Like
Oh,
Sparrow's Crest
okay.
is now safe as part of this treaty.
Okay. I now wonder where their food source shall be located.
Our crests?
The ghouls.
Oh.
Who will they eat?
People to the south. The world. We've been here. We've been underground for 200 years, and now we've been out for a month. We can't save everybody.
We can't fight. It's gonna fight the whole world.
Very well then.
All right, cool. So we have a couple of options for you. I'll let you take a couple of people out if you want, NPC style. You got the angels or the celestials. Shanley's dead. Can't take her. Koiden, which is a level 2 rogue. You might need some finessing in order to get her to come. She is the daughter of the lead blacksmith in Gathol. And then there's Jadmak, the cleric of Morden, who's been training with Gravy. So he is a barbarian cleric now.
Sorry, did you say Shanley?
No, Shanley's dead. I reminded you that Shanley was dead.
For now.
Yeah, for now. Subject to change.
I mean, the Celestials. Kind of interesting. I thought they had a good rapport with Coil. I think that makes sense. They seem capable in combat.
Perhaps also we could use Koiden's skills. How about we split up? I have heard that is always a great idea. You can speak with Koiden. I shall speak with the Celestials.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Each of you roll a d20 for initiative. See who goes first. I don't know. All right. We're going to do Starfire first. All right. Starfire, you walk all the way down to the bottom of the spiral, the farthest away from where you are. You think, as you're kind of rounding the third tier, you might think Coil tricked you into doing this so he didn't have to walk this far down. You arrive, and there's a door, a very familiar door, that you know is the house of the head smith. As you kind of walk by, there's like a little bit of a, I mean, it's a window, but it's really just like, you know, a hole in the wall. And you see through the curtain that they have there, Koiden is inside with her dad, who is an elf, just like a full-on elf. I don't know if you've met him.
I've not met any of these people.
Okay, his name is Cam. He is the person who makes the wondrous items, like the magic trinkets that you guys buy.
And yeah, I would have met.
Yeah, so he's the one who makes those, and they're just like having breakfast at this point.
Hey, how you doing? Uh, we're looking for some help. We're a little understaffed this week or today, and we thought Coyden might want to go on an adventure. What do you say?
Uh, they both look at each other, and it seems like they have an entire conversation with this look. And then Cam gets up and he says like, "Come in, shut the door behind you."
Okay,
He
and close
says,
the door.
he says, Starfire, listen, I know you may have a need, and Koiden does want to go, but Saini, she doesn't want Koiden to go. So adventurers coming here are subject to, and then the camera sort of pans out, and through their window you can see the forge and this like refrigerator dwarf working on it, just slamming this hammer down on the anvil. And she's like, we could try to sneak you out. I'm okay with it, but she will be angry.
Um, well, why doesn't she want you to go out? What's the? I mean,
Well, last time,
I think we've all learned that there are dangers both inside it and about outside and inside Gathol. We're
yes. I mean, I agree with you. I'm happy to back you up, but and he just sort of, you just hear the clanging and him just sort of shaking his head. I'll do it, but just make sure you bring her back, okay?
uh, I absolutely. We're will do everything I can.
John.
Like I got a dangerous world, man. Like we've been over this. Like I don't know what to tell you.
All right. Well, I mean, listen, we're both gonna have hell to pay. We're both of us.
I promise that Biden will have.
All right. So then what will so then like you guys have been having this conversation, and the camera will pan out when you guys are done the conversation, and Koiden's like already like geared up. She's like ready to go. She's got her leather armor on, her like two swords, and she's like, "All right, can you make a distraction?" And she winks at you.
Yeah, sure. Um, use minor illusion on the forge to make the flame look like it's going out.
Oh man, all the dwarves panic and start running around like they don't know what to do. That's a distraction right there. And then you and her just sort of sneak up.
She sounds like a Spitfire. I'm into this.
Yeah, she definitely is. All right, so then we're gonna cut over to Coil. So you walk into the place where the three Celestials are living. They've started to sort of integrate into Gathol. That they don't have the best grasp on common yet, but they're getting there. So since you know them very well, like you would have figured out like their like what they can do and what they like, their specialties or whatever.
Okay.
So one of them is a monk, like they're like a brawler that's very dexterous. One of them
Okay.
is a cleric that has lost basically their connection to the divine. And then the other one is like a fighter, like they're just like a champion, like a leader, and that sort of thing. So you can kind of pick which one you'd like to choose, if you can convince them. You think that the easiest one to convince would be the cleric, but the others might be a little bit harder.
Okay. What are their names again?
Yeah. So the monk is Quabriel. The cleric is Hadriel, and the fighter is Zophiel.
Okay. So yeah, I'll speak with Hadriel and I'll say, "Greetings.
Greetings.
How are you today?"
I'm good. We're helping uh, clean everything up. It is nice to meet new people. Work is a universal language. It is very nice.
We require your assistance outside of Gathol.
She nods and she says, I've been asked before, and I will tell you the same thing. If if you would like me to help, I will. But know when you ask me that you are asking me to fight in another war when I have escaped one already. Do you still want me to come?
War is a constant. It is what I was designed for.
She says, that must be a lucky life. I was not designed for it, but I have fought in it my whole life.
Says, "Good." Or I say, "Good. Perhaps you will meet me on the surface."
She smiles and she says, yes, of course. And then she goes and gets her stuff. All right, so now that we're kind of all like this, we're ready to go. We're gonna take a break, just so we kind of have all this stuff separated, and we will be back in like a couple minutes.